to Boi Games. This is Nathan, your host as always, from Weekend with the Weebs. Hello, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Personally one of my favorites, alongside Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 3, it all went to shit. Mainly because I didn't like... Well, really, at Advanced Warfare, I kind of swore I'd never play another Call of Duty, just because Advanced Warfare wasn't bad, but Black Ops 3 just, like, put the nail in the coffin for me on that one. I'm gonna try the World War II later, though, so, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. So, we're gonna be playing some Black Ops 1 today. Oh, that scared me. Those look like little soldiers there. Okay. Alright, here we go. It's kind of quiet. It scares me a bit. It's the one thing, like, I know this is going to be really nitpicky, but I didn't like the Modern Warfares all too much, because I just found the stages way too small, and I feel like by Black Ops, like, they got to a decent size, like, you know, and I like that. I mean, I've never really been too much of a Battlefield fan, just because those stages are so huge, and then, you know, it's always that issue of some guy comes and snipes you, like, down, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a thing, you know, so, it really is what it is. I'm realizing, just because I had to retake this clip, why I laughed there, the audio sounds way different from my voice. Whenever I'm on recorded, I sound way deeper. It's the weirdest thing. So, you know, that's how that goes. Not doing so hot. But, you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. We always get there. Okay. Where you at? Ooh. Got him. Got him. Alright. Oh. I'm down. I'm down, boys. Down. Yeah, pretty much, I'm just thinking, like, the reason I didn't like Black Ops 3 was just, it reminded me, like, although it was before, like, almost of, like, a Fortnite, where, like, people were the costumes and stuff online were getting way too crazy, and I don't know, I just didn't like it after that, like running on walls and stuff, but yeah, I wish they would just Ghost 2, we need it, although everyone hates that game, but you know, I was in the top 10 players when there were only 10 players left, so yeah. it's not an accomplishment. I was like the 9th. But, you know, that's how that goes, so, oof, you know, I should probably, it's like, what, like 3 in the morning, and I'm gonna hang out with a friend I haven't seen in, like, you know, 4 years tomorrow, so I probably should get some sleep, but I'm just, like, so, like, cool, I don't know, it's kind of weird, kind of just, like, I have trouble falling asleep. I'm not, like, I don't have diagnosed insomnia or anything, but I just always, like, my nocturnal, or my circadian rhythms are off. I'm basically nocturnal at this point. It's kind of weird. Yeah, other boys on the podcast, especially Dick, finds it really annoying, because he gets up at, like, 7 every morning, and he's coming to my house, and I'm like, dude, I ain't, like, walking down in my, like, underwear to answer the door, like, I'll come find you later. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I work till, like, 12 on a lot of nights, so I need that time to kind of, you know, decompress, but sometimes I don't get it, and I don't know. It is what it is. I have a couple days off, which is unusual, but we'll see. We'll see. It's all going good. I'm alright with life. Going back to college soon. A little nervous. But I got probably the hardest class I'll ever have to take out of the way. So, strangely enough, I have less criminal justice or CJ classes, as they're called. So that'll definitely be interesting. One, yeah, I don't know. Kind of nervous for those because, like, a lot of them, there are a lot of like drug classes, which is important with psychology. And don't get me wrong, I am, I'm all for, cops and whatnot. Like, definitely, like, the amount of times I've used that, public service, it's a lot. So, I definitely, people shouldn't be afraid of cops or anything. It's just, see, it's an interesting thing, because on my dorm room, the top room, okay, the top room, top floor, has the most, like, just people who will get, like, drunk and stuff. And that's like where all the criminal justice wing is. So I always found it ironic. It's kind of funny. But so it always makes me kind of nervous whenever CJ gets thrown in the picture. But no, and a lot of it's the law too, and a lot of what I need to learn about that is, psychology and the medical field and law kind of rival each other a little. They check and balance each other out, because it's always that thing of, okay, do we actually get someone help because they were not in control. I shouldn't say not in control, but there's a certain point when a mental illness will go too far and people are borderline out of control. I'll say that. And yeah, it's like, do we take that to the same extreme, or it's crime and punishment, but there's always different issues, and in an idealistic world, psychology would always go for rehabilitation first, but honestly, like, it's always that thing, we don't have the money and enough people willing to pay for that, so there's always, this whole thing of institutionalization versus incarceration. It's a long ongoing battle, but it's more of a rivalry. It's not like, psychologists and like lawyers and cops and all that have, like a death wish to each other. It's not that at all. It's kind of a bit of rivalry, and it's a good rivalry because it kind of, allows for a balance out. So that's why I have to take so many criminal justice ones, just because it's it makes you think. There's a lot of, plus drugs are a big issue. Like, honestly, if you, I hate to say it, like, because especially in today's day where marijuana is a lot more accepted, and it's not one of the more harmful ones, but still, personally, not trying to get too political, I don't know if I agree with 100% legalization. That's only because when you actually look at, there's only like 2 studies that actually show it'll alleviate stress other than just getting you high. There's like 90 different ones that say it can have negative, actually medical like studies that say it can have some negative impacts. One being depending on a certain gene, which I think people should be recommended to test for, because we can. Like, even smoking it once can send you into an all-time schizophrenic break. It's rare, but it's not that rare. So I'm not saying oh, it's the devil's lettuce. It definitely has its time and place when it needs to be medicinally used, but it's yeah, drugs, especially going up to the higher ones, especially the hallucinogens. Those are not good, and that a lot of crime spawns from drugs, and like, yeah. So not like you need me to say that. It's really kind of obvious, but it puts people, and alcohol is one of the worst ones, honestly. And I'm not saying, once again, you can't go out and have a beer with your friend. All right, yeah, a lot of people just don't really realize how impactful it can be. Like, alcoholism is a serious problem, especially in Wisconsin. It's kind of, as much as people like to joke about it, Thirsty Thursday can actually be a problem in some cases. Not to laugh about that, because it really can, but people joke about it and stuff. For you, those of you who don't know what that is, that's like a it's not all parts of Wisconsin, but it's a Wisconsin thing where it's considered, and for the psychological benefit of like skipping the week ahead, or the day ahead, it is kind of worth it in that regard. But essentially what it is it's you it's I can't spit out. It's people just get really drunk on Thursdays and kind of consider that the end of the week, and don't, kind of take Fridays off in a way, like, keep it more chill. I think we could go with keeping Fridays more chill part, because that's actually, something that might ease people into the week, but, I don't know about the getting, like, crap-faced drunk out, right, but it's yeah. Can be an issue sometimes, but that's really kind of how that goes, I guess. Yeah. Sometimes it's used just as a meme too, which is kind of neat, but it's a cultural thing. It's especially in a lot of rural areas, it can be a cultural thing. I've learned a lot about Wisconsin. I mean, I'm no expert, but technically I've claimed residency there, so I'm not an Illinois resident anymore, but, Illinois is still, where my heart is and where I hope it dies. As shitty as that sounds, because, the taxes, people give it crap, but, if you just learn to accept it for its people and learn its culture, it's not bad. Especially the Chicago area, people give it crap because of, obviously the violence and stuff. But you have to realize, like, this is one thing I learned. So, people from Wisconsin and that kind of like the southern side are very passive aggressive, and it can bother me sometimes, like, especially when they don't warn you. So, like, the average person will think they're being nice, but they're really, like, kind of hinting to fuck off. It's really hard to tell. So, you never really know. Where the thing I respect, especially about the Chicago area, if someone's giving you a problem, they're gonna tell you to fuck off right away. And that may sound ruder than just like, oh no, sweetie, go over there, or whatever. But it's a lot easier to read, and in my opinion, it's a lot, nicer. Just because it gets the point across, and that's it. So, whether you like that or not, it doesn't waste time. I don't know. I just always appreciate brutal honesty on that. But that's just me. Another thing is, especially in southwest Wisconsin, they call it a bubbler instead of a drinking fountain. Now, the real name is a water cooler, if you want to be technical. That's the plumbing term for these things, okay? That's what these machines are called. But no one calls them that. They call it a bubbler. And, frankly, me and the rest of the world that's not from southwest Wisconsin thinks it's stupid. But, that's what it is. That's, yeah. And there's like this whole breed of Wisconsin humor that's really weird, like the Manitowoc Minute, that stuff. Like, it's funny for the first, like, minute, then it just kind of dies, I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's the, like, yeah, Chicago and Illinois in general might be kind of a darker place, but you know, I think in the end of the day we get through it. And this is not to say I'm like going off on people from Wisconsin, because believe me, it has its definite benefits in many ways. But you know, I don't know. I just think, yeah, it is what it is. I'm a product of my environment, and that is both a blessing, a very great blessing, and a curse in a way. But you know, I wouldn't change anything. I've gotten to a point in my life where I think, you know, I don't necessarily, you know, enjoy every single day. Like no one's gonna get there. Those people that say every day is the greatest day of my life are bullshit. You know, fucking bullshit. I'm calling it right now. Like, I've gotten to the point, though, where I'm okay with myself, you know, especially through a lot of my life I haven't been. And, you know, it's just what it is, you know, it's chill. It's, you know, just make the most of every moment, you know. I mean, I believe there's another side, and, you know, all that, so just living for that, you know, mainly, and just, you know, getting through this, you know, phase of life, essentially. And yeah, no, it's not to get existential on you, but I think it's, you know, everyone just needs to, you know, if you're feeling like, you know, if you're feeling not too great, I'll say that, because there's a whole list. I just want anyone to know, not like many people watch this, but going through a lot of, especially depression and suicidal stuff, like there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not just a phase. Like, people who say that are kind of BSing it, but you'll not always get over it, but you'll find a way to adapt and make it better and become stronger thus for it. So, and honestly, like, it'll be weird, 'cause, like, people who go through stuff, like, there's certain settings that definitely make you more prepared for different things in life. There's things I've seen and things I've done and whatnot that definitely have made me have a different outlook on the world, and I'll see some crazy stuff, and I'll just be like, yeah, you know, I've seen, you know, people, as dark as it sounds, I've seen people die, like, right there, and stuff. It's hard, but, like, stuff like that gets easier, you know, and you just kind of have to accept, you know, weird stuff happens. There's life, there's death, it's the world, you know, it's what it is, you know, there's chaos, there's order, there's fun, there's despair. It's just all part of the equation, and, you know, frankly, I think if you try to take even, there's light in every darkness, really. You have to just kind of find it, and I think, you know, that's what it's all about. Mainly, to me anyhow. I don't know. Here I am just rambling existential bullshit, but, you know, it's what I believe. There's always something, you know, even when something's impossible, there's something that can pull you through and make it good again, you know. The world, you know, oh god, that's gonna be way too metaphysical. I don't know if I want to say that, but, you know, it's like, the world runs on thermodynamics. You can't make something out of nothing and nothing out of something. You can change it, you can, to different forms of matter, to different forms of energy, to different, you know, I mean, but, I don't know. I think that's just a good way to think about life, too, is you can always, it might not be perfect, but you can always change something into something else to make it, you know, slightly better, or just, you know, it's really just a perception of our minds, you know, that's one thing, but I don't know. Here I am, just like, I'm like, oh, I'm playing Call of Duty, and I'm like, no, this is existential BS time. Let's go deep. Like a well, that was a deep joke. Please, someone just kill me now, please. Don't. That's not serious. Just for anyone thinking that. This day and age, I have to put out that disclaimer. I do not want to die. Well, drawn to the end here. Hope y'all have a great night. I don't know what else to say. Just, you know, keep rocking. Subscribe if you want to. You know the drill. Oh, this isn't Advanced Warfare. Why'd I put